What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 5 of This is Boston Baseball podcast, brought to you by B Clutch Sports. We got another exciting show for you guys tonight with our special guest, Jonny McDonald. One thing to report, Mike Terrio was unfortunately just didn't have the time to fit in this podcast in his busy schedule. So unfortunately, he will not be on the show anymore. But the good news is Angie Santamaro will be filling in as our interim third co-host. So thanks to Angie. I mentioned she's quite the badass, played in 100 innings of baseball every year, first-year umpire. But I did forget to mention that she also donated one of her kidneys a few months ago. Her friend came to her and was like, yeah, apparently I need a new kidney, and Angie, without any question, was like, yeah, well, you can have mine, and donated one of her kidneys. Not sure how many friends would do that for one of their friends. I know I certainly wouldn't. I don't know if anyone would want one of my kidneys, but that's a different story. But allow me to bring in my co-hosts, Omar Ortiz and Angie Santamaro. And we'll bring in Jonny in just a second. What is up, guys?
What's going on?
How we doing? Episode 5. Oh.
What's up?
Gotta put my shades on.
Yeah, we gotta put the shades on.
Just for Jonny McDonald.
That's right.
It'll all make sense very soon, I promise.
It'll all make sense.
So, Ange, how did that come about, by the way? The whole kidney. She's just like...
We met about 13 years ago, and got to talking one time, and she had just mentioned, her kidneys. It's called PCOS. It's like polycystic kidney, or polycystic kidney something. So not PCOS. That's
you could have told me anything, and I would have believed it.
No. She has polycystic kidney disease, and had said, soon I'll need a kidney transplant. And I said, well, I'm your girl when you need it. And then 2 years ago, she needed it, and I said, all right, it's go time. So we did all the testing. It was a lot of testing, about 2 years worth of just CAT scans, and we were a perfect match. So that was really awesome and helpful, and that really kind of put all the other kind of issues in testing aside, because you can do multiple ways to donate. You can do like a cross donation, so you donate to somebody and then they donate to her. But we were a perfect match. So then when we were ready, when the timing was right and all the testing was done, we just did it.
It's crazy. I mean, how can you ever...
in June.
Right, I know you had to take some time off from umping because of that, but Omar, would you ever donate one of your organs to a friend of yours?
Listen, man, shout out to you, because I'm scared of going to the thing. So, I don't think...
You're breaking up.
It's a good gesture, but shout out to you. But
Omar, your audio's cutting out. Did you do something different? Sounds a little different than how your audio normally sounds. Oh, he's going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, she is a mom and I'm a mom, and I think just knowing that I couldn't imagine taking a mom away from 2 kids if I could help it. So,
so what would have happened if she never got a kid? I mean, is it death?
She would have been on, well, I mean, she would have had to do dialysis, which the reason why they, being the doctors, not me, timed the surgery the way they did it is because she's got a much better chance at a longer life if she has the kidney pre-going on dialysis, because once she's on dialysis, her body's kidneys are not working at all. And you also need some time for the other kidney to kind of kick in a little bit, I think. But cool thing, my kidney is my superpower, so my kidney is operated, my one kidney is operating 2 in her and then 2 in me. And so other than a couple side effects that I have, she's doing phenomenal. And I'm just having to hydrate and pee all the time. Other than that,
It's
I might.
it's just wild. And then, the first game you came back to ump was the 100-inning game.
Correct.
And I suggested that you go behind the dish. I know you wanted to be behind the dish, and of course, you got hit with those 2 major foul balls,
Yeah.
which was one of your fears. Oh, looks like Omar is back. That was one of your fears, and I felt awful because I was the one that suggested that you go behind the dish, and then thankfully you didn't get hit. Where you had the surgery, but
Yeah, I mean, getting hurt is part of the game. That's fine. My concern, like I said before, was I didn't want to flinch behind the plate, right?
Which
Because
you
you
did.
can't really call. I did right after I got hit twice, once in the
Right.
face. I was like, I'm gonna flinch back here, and it was like you said, it was my first time back since June, end of June. I think I umped my last game with Gibby the day before surgery. So that was, the last game that I had umped, and so
I'll get you back,
Yeah.
Omar.
I'm sorry, guys. This is the setup. Looks camera's twisted. Hold on. Sorry.
No, that's much better. Your audio's much
oh,
better.
there we go. The gang's back together.
Yeah. So what happened was that I was trying to log in from my laptop, and I usually do it from my phone.
Nothing like changing things up last minute.
Nothing like technology.
We're back though.
But we're back. But so we got Jonny McDonald on tonight. He's got a lot to say. I know that. But 2 years ago, and he'll tell you about it. He had major surgery. I think he tore his ACL, and just did rehab and a whole bunch of things to get back into shape. And he's won 4 championships this past year. It took me 20 years to win 1 championship, and he's winning 4 championships in 1 year, which is pretty crazy. But we were talking earlier. Do you guys ever have like major injuries? I was telling you guys, in 25 years of playing baseball, knock on wood, I've never really had any major injuries. I mean, I've had injections in my knees and my shoulder, but nothing as major as tearing my ACL or anything like that. You guys faced any injuries that you had to come back from?
Yeah, dude, you were a catcher too. Like, how
I
did
know
you not?
it's
Like,
crazy. I don't know.
My thumb.
Yeah, and you were a
I
catcher, right?
definitely-
You used to.
I was,
you-
yeah.
Yeah.
I had massive bruising.
Yeah, I'm lucky, I guess, So when I hear, these guys who are especially younger than I am getting hurt all the time, it's just like, I don't know.
I also think you have to be fortunate not
Yeah.
to get hurt. Because
Yeah.
it's not like I dislocated my left shoulder in college in practice.
Oof.
And my left shoulder, I'm covering first. Pitcher throws over. He throws the ball to my right. I try to dive for it, and then the runner runs into my shoulder. Because he's coming back on a pickoff. And it made me change like the way I hit. I used to hit for more power. Now I became a line drive hitter. It was either get some surgery and probably not play again, or do some rehab and learn how to adjust to your injuries. I think as a ball player, as an athlete, when you have an injury, you adapt to playing with that injury. And those that don't know how to adapt, they stop playing.
They stop playing, and yeah, a lot of guys
I
do
just don't
stop
bunt
playing
anymore. I messed
Bunting?
up I got smashed on the middle finger. Ooh,
Oh.
sorry, where's my camera? I was going to bunt and I got smashed on the middle finger, like broke my little knuckle, and I don't bunt anymore.
So you did everything wrong that you're supposed to do.
I did everything wrong.
Yeah.
Yep, because I was trying to do this new bet, to bunt down, which I was always just I always went to third. That was just where I bunted. And so then we were doing this new. I remember my coach was doing this new thing where we were trying to just tap down, and I just got my knuckle in the way. And
Now you played softball, right? Was it? Yeah.
I played. I mean, I grew up playing baseball in the neighborhood because that's what everybody did. And then in the summer, when I went to school, high school, college, softball, and then went back to baseball when I got out of college, pickup league.
Listen, I don't mean to cut you guys off, but look at Dan. Dan looks like a podcaster. Look at his background. He got the mic. He got
I put my
headset,
one picture
he
up.
got the glide. He got the one. Hey, shout out to you, my brother. You setting the bar high.
I learned from watching you. I mean, your setup is better than all of ours.
No, I don't have a mic, bro. I need a mic.
But wait to see Johnny set up. Now that's, I mean.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, let's go, Johnny.
Shall we bring him in?
Mm-hmm.
The man
We
himself.
might as well bring Johnny in so they can understand the glasses.
Yes, you guys don't understand the
Dan
glasses.
feels uncomfortable. Dan, I think you should wear the glasses every week.
Yeah, think it's a good look.
No, I think it's gonna bring confidence.
I think it's your look.
Yes. You
Oh,
look like
thanks,
Michael,
guys.
You're like Michael Felger.
I should keep you guys around all the time. I like that. All right, let's bring in our special guest, Jonny McDonald. Welcome to the show, buddy. Episode 5. Pleasure to have you.
Guys.
What's going on, Johnny Mac?
I really thought it was a rookie hazing thing when I was told to wear glasses. You guys are acting like this is my idea. Who put me up to this?
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, so Johnny,
you look like a podcaster, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate all the compliments.
I am telling you.
Yeah, so Johnny said he was coming on with sunglasses, so we all decided to do the same.
No, that's not. I gotta tell you the truth. I talked to him, and I'm like, hey, what do you think if we come on with glasses? Give it some funk. And he's
Your
like,
idea.
He was like, yeah, he liked it. But then, like, an hour ago, he's like, I don't know about wearing the glasses. I'm like, ah, damn.
This is not the story that I got.
Yeah,
I might
it's
have
not
to
a story I got
I'm here
either.
with the
Start crying,
sunglasses
all right?
anyways.
Yeah,
hey,
that
you
was.
gotta switch it up sometimes, man.
How many gloves do you own?
These are not my gloves. I do not have a glove addiction.
Okay.
Next question.
That is acceptance, Johnny. The first step.
How about the bats you have in the back there, Angie? Come on.
Oh yeah, I mean I've accepted it. I have a problem. This is like 4 of my 6. 4 of my 10.
You guys are making my setup look terrible.
Bro, you look like Michael Felger, bro. You gotta stop
do.
playing
Is that a
like a
good
radio
thing?
host.
Is that a good thing? I
Yeah, he
don't know.
does.
Yes, it's
you
a
have
good
to.
thing.
It's a great thing.
It's a Marconi Award winner.
You're the amateur baseball Michael Felger, bro.
Well, I'll take it. Something you guys want from me? I've never got so many compliments from you guys.
My website.
Hey now.
Daniel!
So, buddy,
Hey, Johnny! No, hey, let's get to business. Johnny, please introduce yourself.
Yes.
All right, so I'm Jonny McDonald. I play in the, what do I play in? The BMBL, is that what it is?
BMBL. Yes.
I play on the Angels with Mark Sobolski. You guys is week 2. I think it was week 2.
Week 1. He was our week 1 guest.
Your week 1 guest.
Yep.
He's a good friend of mine. Me and him used to duke it out back when we used to run a league in Lowell. His team and my team actually hated each other back then because of immaturity and competition, I guess. And we've since grown up and gone through a lot of things and actually grown really close. So shout out to Mark Sobolski and his 2 heart transplants. It's going to sound like nothing what I went through compared to what he went through, but I definitely want to talk about the ACL injury, and I kind of want to spread awareness for people who are going through some shit, man. Like, so 2 years ago, ended up kind of getting back into baseball. Baseball is one of those things that has come and gone in my life a couple of times. In college, I tore my labrum, got a slap tear. Back then, 10, 12 years ago, when you got a slap tear in your shoulder and you were a pitcher, it was like, oh yeah, game over for you. Today, it is absolutely incredible. Coming back from an ACL was honestly a piece of cake. I mean, it was a long journey in itself. But so yeah, 2 years ago, I was probably 50 pounds heavier than I am right now, playing with the 18-year-olds, playing really good, but really just wasn't in the right shape to be playing. Pulled my hamstring, and 3 days later, pop. Is literally an audible pop when you tear your ACL. So anybody who gets a knee injury, if you want to know what it feels like, honestly, it doesn't hurt that much. depending on how it happens. But literally an ACL tear, it's funny that they call it a tear because it's actually a rupture. So imagine just a rope, just when a rope pulls apart and all the particles just spread and it just pops. It literally explodes into a million pieces. So there's no fixing an ACL tear. An ACL tear is something that you have to get fully reconstructed, fully repaired. They usually take a ligament from anywhere on your body. They used to do it in different ways. They used to take away your patella tendon, and then that led to patella tendonitis in people. They used to take your hamstring, but you could never really grow your hamstring back. And then I think Adrian Peterson, maybe Brady, I forget which athlete it was. If you guys remember Adrian Peterson, he tore his ACL, and then he comes back and rushes for like 2,000 yards the next year.
Yep, that was crazy.
So he was one of the first ones to get the quad graft. So they literally take a chunk of your quad muscle, about, I don't actually know how long. I think it's centimeters long. And they use that as your new ACL, and they tie it in and they anchor it. And these surgeons today are far beyond anything from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They used to put you in a straight leg cast back in the day. Now, dude, I was walking within 3 days. Now, don't get me wrong, I couldn't move my leg, I couldn't flex my leg, but they want you to move it immediately coming out of surgery. This isn't something where they just tell you like, oh, hey, just sit tight, wait for it to heal. That's not how it works. It needs to function. So you start having to use it and bend your leg and go to physical therapy literally within 7 days.
Jonny, what's the hospital stay for something like that? Like, how long are you there?
That's the craziest part. I was there for 4 hours. They did the surgery. Wow. It was a 4-hour window. I went in there for pre-op for like a couple of hours, and then once you're fully coming down off of the, morphine or whatever they put you on, and you actually know where you are, they send you home, and you
so
literally, they take you out in the wheelchair. I crutched my way home. I crutched my way back into my house, and from there, the recovery process starts.
And
wow.
Was there ever a time where you didn't think you'd play baseball again, or was the goal to always, get back on the field somehow?
I actually got to say, again, this is why I want to spread awareness for people that are going through hard things in their life.
Here's your balloons.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You're spreading awareness.
Hard things.
Don't do it.
I want to talk about this more later when it comes to like the stigma of like playing men's baseball. But for right now, to answer that question, generally that happened when I was, I don't want to say my age. That happened when I was
we're all older than you, buddy.
Bro.
We're all older than you.
That happened at an age where most people are gonna, when you tell somebody, oh, I just tore my ACL, and they ask you how, and you say, oh, I was playing men's baseball. So let me just go quick into like how it happened, right? Again, I'm overweight. That's a problem. I'm playing athletically on a body that's not athletic, and I had always had issues with my meniscus in my knee, so it was unstable as it is. We were playing a team that we had no business beating. I was just feeling myself, hit a double off the wall. We scored from first. We're up 1-0 on a team we're never going to beat, so I shouldn't be doing this. But now I'm on second base. The pitcher one-looks 4 pitches in a row. He's going to one-look on the 5th, right? So I take off for third. His shortstop is smart. Safe way. I'm like, oh, I'm done. And he goes to pick me off. Again, I'm thinking I'm athletic, playing with the 18-year-olds. Look at me. And I just pivot to the right to try to juke the guy. I almost like pretended to give myself up and then like went hard to juke. Pop. Like you cracking a celery in half. So that's how that happened. And most people are going to tell you when you tell them, hey, I tore my ACL last night playing baseball. What do you think they're going to say? You
mean softball?
Right.
I get that a lot. You mean
what
you
else?
play,
What
you
else
play
do you think they're
softball,
gonna
right?
say?
You're old? Why are you still playing?
That's it for you then, huh?
Yeah, you're all
You should
done,
probably
right?
stop
You're not gonna
playing,
play
don't you
again,
think?
So that's it.
Right.
Yep.
What'd you say, Angie?
That's what they're going to say. You're all done. You're not going to play anymore.
Right.
Like,
Right.
your career's over.
So I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, I already had baseball taken from me once when I hurt my shoulder, right? And I've dealt with this breakup with baseball before. I know how to do this. So
So painful.
I actually
Like
at
the
that
most painful
point was
breakup.
thinking, I just started doing what I love again. I love playing baseball. Clearly, I wasn't in the shape I needed to be playing baseball. So honestly, this was an awakening for me, an awakening for my life. It was time to completely change my life. It was time to get back to being healthy, eating healthy, taking care of myself, taking care of my mental health, taking care of my physical health. It's all tied together. And I literally 2 years later cannot believe all the changes I've made in my life and how good it feels to be in this spot. I am playing the best baseball of my life. And I am in the best mental state of my life. I'm in the best physical shape of my life. And that was all a decision to me. I don't know how religious some of you guys are, but like whatever my version of God is, he told me that day when I tore my ACL, it's time to wake up. And most people would have just been like, oh, poor me, I gotta quit baseball. I'm already 50 pounds overweight. Then we're gonna put 30 more on. And then your life's over because now you can't do anything you love because you're just gonna be, old, out of shape. And I just was like, that's not the route I wanna go. Like, I love baseball. And we'll talk about the reasons I love baseball, going forward. But this was just, again, an awakening for me. And here we go, to spread awareness. When somebody tears their ACL or somebody has a major injury, the first thing that they're going to do is go, wow, man, this sucks. Poor me. This is terrible. I can't believe this happened to me. Like, get out of that fucking victim mindset. I'm telling you. Turn it to a positive, because my ACL injury was literally the greatest event that's ever happened in my life to this point. Because how I decided to handle it, who I got to see, who was my support system during that time. You really, when you're in the nitty gritty like that, you really see who supports you. And I also coach. So yep. I have an example to set. I have an example to set for those kids where, how can I sit there and preach and be the positive talk guy and be this big energy guy, and then I'm just going to, let me just curl up into a ball and cry because I tore my ACL. Like, no. So, this is a challenge.
So, Jonny, can I ask you a question? So you made all of these amazing changes clearly to just kind of spark this just victory return, right? Mm-hmm. What was your first couple steps, right? Because you obviously had to heal, but then, like, what were the first things, the first major changes you made to, was it your diet? Was it the gym? Like, what were the first kind of things you did?
So the first major change was the gym. First of all, the recovery is something you have to take seriously. So an injury isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. You have to take that injury, and that's you now. That's your identity. Like, it doesn't have to be your identity forever, but how you react to that injury is your identity. So I wanted to be somebody who is going to come back from ACL surgery and come back stronger. So when I'm going to physical therapy and they're like, hey, you really should be doing this at home. When I was in the physical therapy office, I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, no offense to anybody out there, but there's a guy there that doesn't want to be there. He thinks this is stupid. There's a guy there that's overweight. There's somebody that's 50, but they look 70 because they didn't take care of their body. And I'm kind of just looking around like, these people are sent to me, like, don't end up like that. You don't want to end up like that. And so I literally took that, like, this is my life mission now. So everything that I was shown at physical therapy, I wanted to learn it as if it was my passion. Like, I needed to learn this to the fullest degree. I want to know all about how the body works, mobility-wise, strength-wise. And then going to the gym. Honestly, my cousin, huge motivation for me. Actually, gym intimidation is one of those things. Like, I could never go to the gym. Are you kidding me? Holy crap. I'm always looking around like, who's looking at me, whatever. Like, the gym was something for me where I'm like, I can't go in there. Everyone's lifted wicked heavy. I can't And then guess what? I go in there with my cousin, and we're literally getting lean. And all we do is move like 20 pounds around, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Like, you really don't even have to lift that much.
Doesn't take much.
Right. That's
It takes the consistency. And again, being a coach, my support system of the families of who I coach, and those kids, I have to set an example for those kids. Because guess what? One of them's going to have an injury one day, and I got to set that example.
And you teach, it's girls softball, right? What age group is it?
Yeah, so girls softball is what I teach. I have my own travel program. Right now it's just one team. I've had this group now for the core of the group now for, this is going on our 4th year. They're all freshmen and sophomores in high school. I got to tell you, coaching girls has absolutely changed my life. It is incredible getting to know the other gender on that level. These kids are absolutely incredible, have changed my life completely.
Yeah, I've seen the videos you posted.
But you gotta listen. You guys gotta understand. His group is second to none. They mirror his personality, and I always tell Johnny, I'm like, wow, you have the females and yourself, and they look like you, but female versions. They play like him. They have the swag. They have the passion, the excitement. You know, you can't teach that. And to watch him, I tell them all the time. Watching those girls play, I show my daughters all the time, you guys better start playing. Because they doubt themselves as females, but when they see like other females playing the sport that they can play, to me it's priceless.
I don't know that we doubt ourselves as females, but we live in a world that doesn't believe in us. And so it has to come from us and from coaches like you, Johnny, it sounds like, right? Like, female athletes are beasts when you tap into what they need. And I think I've had some coaches over the years who just tapped into my beast mode, and it was like lights out. I've also had coaches who did not do that and intimidated or thought that they could coach us the same way they coach boys, and it's very different.
I really want to talk about that since we have Angie on here and we just pivoted to that. We can get back to some of the other stuff on the ACL, but I really want to bring that in. So, Angie, think back to the coaches that you had, right? Think back to when you were playing your most confident, right? So, for me, I've coached boys, I've coached grown men, I've coached teenage girls, college girls, and girls as young as 12. Getting them to believe in themselves and getting them to play confident and speak highly of themselves is everything. And is there a coach that pops into your mind when you think of that? Like, when you were playing at your best, like what buttons was he pushing for you?
So it was a she. It was my high school coach, Kelly Picaro at Somerville High. And you know what she did? It wasn't her. I mean, it was her, but what she did was she created a team. And that's the thing. Females are pack creatures. So when you have a pack, when you have a posse, you are unfucking touchable. And so when you get girls to get out of that shitty mindset of it's me v you, not we're a team, it's an untapped fucking natural resource. Women have no idea the power that they hold, and I say that now as a something-year-old woman who gives zero fucks, and it's amazing what I can do now, not giving a shit what anybody else thinks. And I think men grow up not giving a shit what anybody else thinks, and it's just what happens. Not that you all don't have your own shit, but in general, when it comes to sports,
no, you're nailing
all
it.
the major sports people are men, right? You see all the men taking off. When I was growing up, I had to sneak into the movie theater to watch A League of Their Own to see women play baseball. And I will tell you, I have loved baseball since before I could walk, right? I had Yaz, I had Carl Yastrzemski on my wall before I think I can remember anything else. So, you know, I think that people underestimate that women love sports as much as they do. And so then we're just not tapped. Like, we're not brought into that conversation or treated that way until you find your people, you find your tribe. And then I found mine.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I run my team. Like, from day one, I told them, nobody is going to be above this team. It is going to be a team atmosphere. You're going to love each other. And this is honestly, here's how we need to pivot out of this. When you are on a team, this is why sports for the youth especially, but even for us as adults, this is where we miss the mark. For the youth, it's so important because, you know, when you're on a team, your social hierarchy at your high school doesn't apply to your travel ball team, doesn't apply to your top team, right? There could be kids that would probably never talk to each other in high school unless they were on the same high school team, sports team. This doesn't just have to be softball. This can be any team. This is why sports for the youth is extremely important. And social media is good.
Oh, God,
I actually think it's good. And I know a lot of people demonize it, but getting kids in sports is the most important thing. And pivoting out of that, unless you have something to say on that, Ange, us as adults also need that, right? Culturally, let's just go right into it. I'm just a white dude. When I show up to play with Omar and it's a bunch of Dominican guys, Puerto Rican guys, baseball unites us. It's one language. It's one culture. And
but you say that as a man. As a woman, it has been very hard to be taken, number one, seriously. Number two, it's been very hard to be a part of a team that, excuse me, feels like I get treated equally. I don't. So you can say that as a man, and I agree with you. But I think as a female walking onto a team, I have been either immediately sexualized, which sometimes, honestly, I've just had to embrace because, like, that's what's going to happen. And like, if I'm against it, then I'm just, you know, if I kind of talk back too much to it, then I'm like the chick who's taking everything too seriously.
Hey, can I interfere?
Yeah.
So, coming from a girl dad, I got 3 daughters. I think it all depends what team you go to, what team that you're gonna play for. For example, we had Jackie. She's a woman that plays baseball. We were down in the Cape. She played with us. We treated her like she was just a regular person on the team. We didn't belittle her, because a lot of us are girl dads. So I think it all depends on what type of atmosphere you're around. Because if you're around the Havoc, you would never ever feel that way, because we respect everyone. Like Johnny said, he came over to our team and it was just the common thing, baseball. We were pushing her and motivating her because she was pitching against the best team in that tournament.
Oh,
and we
hold
had
on
her
1 second.
back. Yeah.
No, I have definitely played with men who have my back. Don't get me wrong, right? I definitely played with men. I mean, I haven't played on a team since my 20s, a baseball team, but whenever, you know, we play the 100 innings every year, I'm definitely supported, but I know my place in the hierarchy, right?
You're saying it's hard. You're saying it's harder. That's got to be difficult.
I'm saying
it just
it's
is
different.
for sure.
It's different. It's different, right? I know that I'm always heading out to right? Like that's where I'm going. I'm not getting any other position, right? So I think that and you know what, to be honest with you though, at this point in my career, since I don't play often anymore, that's the right call. Like let's be honest. But I think you know, go ahead.
I also feel like what Johnny is mentioning also, for example, switching sports. My daughter plays volleyball, and this is her second year playing volleyball. And you can see that her confidence is low. And you can see her teammates' confidence is low. And then you watch other teams that have been playing together, their confidence is high. So I also think it's like, depending on the situation that you're in. Unfortunately, when I put my daughters to play sports, they don't get the coaching they deserve. But now you got a guy like Johnny. Johnny's changing the game, so Johnny understands. And watching his team, I don't think they're gonna go through what you went through, because it's a lesson.
Not on a girls' team. But if you look online, whenever Monet Davis has talked about pitching on boys' team, the amount of men that will jump into the comment and talk down to this little girl who's just kicking ass pitching, whenever they show a woman, I could countless times.
How about all the comments you got as an umpire? when you had that?
I made some. Yes, I had 2 men come into my DMs.
It was
right,
crazy.
on
It was
Facebook,
crazy.
and I showed them to Dan. I was kind of losing it. I made some comment on an umpire video, oh, this is actually the rule or something, and 2 men came into my DMs telling me that they bet I knew what a doubleheader was, and they knew what I was good at, and that I needed to go back to the kitchen. But my point being, if you're talking about women's sports, I think we have come a long fucking way. Softball, volleyball, soccer, all those things. But when you talk about women playing baseball, the amount of negativity when Kristen Ning got the job as the Marlins GM, oh my God, Alyssa Niken she just moved up to be the assistant director of I just saw it the other day. But the amount of men in the comments laughing, calling it DEI hires, telling her that she's never played the sport, how dare she be in there. So baseball has a ways to go, but I agree that women's sports has come very far.
But I think history repeats itself, and if you look at first when Black Americans, they didn't get the recognition they deserved. They went through similar what the women are going through now. If you're going through that now, it's because you guys are breaking barriers. There's athletes now, female athletes, that are bigger than male athletes.
Caitlin Clark.
Shout to her.
But in what sports?
But we're gonna get there slowly. We're gonna. No. She's selling out football stadiums.
Yes, Diana Taurasi, right? Diana Taurasi, one of the veteran WNBA players, has been nasty.
She's nasty.
Has been mean to her, right? Caitlin Clark did not make the Olympic team. Why? Because everybody said she needed to earn her stripes.
Because
she wasn't ready.
She's breaking barriers.
Yes.
She's breaking barriers. You're going to face that resistance.
But that should be a good thing.
I love this for me right now that you guys are telling me what women's sports is like. I just gotta say that, but I love it for me right now.
That's why we brought you on.
But you guys see it from the outside. You do. And from the outside, it looks like we're breaking barriers. But you all have had access to this sport since it first began.
But the sports haven't been so good that they are now. Right now, you got WNBA players that are really, really good. Before, you didn't have that. Now you do.
Because we weren't allowed to play, Omar. We weren't allowed to play. No, we weren't. We were not allowed to play. Women in sports was not a thing in the 60s and 70s, right? We couldn't even run in the marathon. The first female who wanted to run the marathon got pulled out of it. Well, we have not been allowed to compete at the same level as men for as long as men have.
Well, WNBA.
As long as men have 100%. Okay. As long as men have 100%. We can. No, but I'm not against you. I got 3 daughters. Trust me.
I don't think you are.
I'm with you. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you guys are the trajectory is going high. So there's levels, and you're gonna go through trials and tribulations before you hit the hump. Caitlin Clark is an animal when it comes to basketball, but she has backlash because the basketball players before her don't respect her because they think that they're better than her. But she's revolutionizing the game. So she's giving
happens
women
on female teams. This is what I'm saying. If you want girls to play and you want girls to be good, their team needs to be good. And what happens and we don't need to get into it right now, but because of misogyny and patriarchy, women turn on themselves, right? So it's very hard. So Johnny,
so do men.
I gotta say, no. So hold on. I want to interject right there. I totally agree. But what I gotta say, working with this generation of young ladies, I'm telling you, this is the generation that's going to change all of that.
Yeah.
I know it.
100%.
I know it for a fucking fact. Because the confidence that these kids bring, the maturity level that they have above the boys who are going to be men when they get to 35.
100%.
These women are going to take over all those things.
I hope so.
These young ladies that will be women. I'm telling you, the way that they support each other, I mean, even just if you were to look at their social medias and their posts, right? And they're just like, girl, you're gorgeous, or whatever. It's like they compliment each other more than our generation ever thought about complimenting each other.
Yeah.
So they're constantly trying to prop each other up. And I'm hoping that this new generation, my age, this new wave of coaching, I mean, the number one thing I do is I do not let them say a single negative thing about themselves. Like, it's not allowed. Like, if they say it out loud, I go, work on your self-talk. You got to work on your self-talk. And this all comes back to my whole life change. If I'm going to be the self-talk guy, well, I can't be 50 pounds overweight. I gotta be the part.
Right.
So pivoting off of the young ladies thing, the whole reason for this podcast, right? What is the whole reason for this podcast? Dan, Omar, why have this podcast? What are we attempting to do? Real question.
I mean, for me, it's something I've wanted to do for a few years, but just bringing light to amateur baseball in Boston, to update people, fans, family about the ongoings of the different leagues and what happens. When you tell people you play baseball, like I said earlier, they're like, you mean softball? Like a lot of people
softball?
don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that men still play baseball after college. So it's just for me in the BNBL, I do the website, a lot of social media stuff. So for me, it just felt like a natural thing. I know there's other leagues around the country that do this. It's something I've wanted to do for a few years. Just talk baseball, really.
And Omar, you're looking to unite people, right? And you're looking to get people.
That's what I was gonna say. Like my thing was to unite all of us. My thing is bigger. When I hear people say Boston baseball and they take like ownership of that, that's disrespectful, because to me, it's a lot of people that create Boston baseball. And this is why the name is This is Boston Baseball. It's everybody in Boston baseball is going to be a part of this show. It's not one entity. It's not my entity. It's not this guy's entity. It's everyone's entity, because we're doing so much great work, and united, we're going to be able to create more. My dream is always to present baseball at the next level, create different entities, different leagues, different tournaments,
So when you say
different
next
programs.
level,
Yeah.
Omar, when you say next level, bro,
Yeah.
what you mean is a new evolved level, right? Not next
Evolutionize
level
the
meaning
game.
the highest level.
Evolutionize
All
the
levels.
game, man. We're doing content. We're doing videography. We're giving players exposure, and we're bringing excitement back to the game, and we could all be there doing this together, because everyone has their own. Again, guys, we spoke about this before. The BNBL is going to have their teams. The Park League is going to have their teams. Hockey League, CHBL, BBA. We're all going to have our teams. But how can we give the experience to the players and give them experience, so when they say Boston has the best leagues in the whole United States of America, it's not about being. Go ahead.
No, Johnny, where were you looking to take that question? I mean, how do you see this podcast?
Here's where I want to take that question. I think there's a messed up social construct, right? I think if I have people come up to me, I'm the guy in the gym. When I'm in the gym, I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, pretending to do my swing, getting my hip to shoulder separation, balancing. Like, so people walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, do you play baseball?" Just because, like, I'm that lunatic in the gym. That's what I do. I have no shame.
You throw the medicine ball sideways?
I don't quite.
You bring it from the hip. You bring it from the hip.
You got to do that one. That's a good one.
So
you do that.
The gym I have doesn't have those capabilities, but like, I'm just like,
So you're clearly no longer that.
You grab the rope and go.
Yeah, that's me.
You're clearly no longer that shy guy at the gym. Clearly, that's not not you anymore.
He lost the weight now. Now he's the eight.
That's right.
Shout out to my
It's got the
man.
confidence.
It's easy
Got
not
the
to be
confidence.
shy.
It's got the confidence.
No,
He's ready.
But listen, when they come up to me, here's what they say. So we already have earlier where people say, "Oh, you got hurt. Like, that's stupid. What are you still playing baseball for? What are you chasing? You think you're going to go pro?" Dude, what makes you think I ever wanted to go pro? Do you really want that?
I mean, I did.
I hate that comment, man. I hate. Oh, you still chasing the dream? What dream, bro? Like, you're still chasing the dream? What dream?
Here's what everyone that comes out to me in the gym, and it's been 10 people in the last 2 months that's talked about baseball in the gym. Here's what they all say. All 10 of them, bro. I'd be like, yeah, dude, you should get back into it. They, oh no, I only played up until, everyone's got to say like their accolades. Like I played up until, dude, I don't think anybody around me knows where I played in college, how far I went, what I did, because it doesn't fucking matter. You know what matters? Doing what you love. Yep. And here's the thing, everyone's totally fine with, oh, hey, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings on Sundays and watch NFL football. Everyone convenes to do that. It's no problem. Nobody's chasing anything doing that. But if you tell them, oh, hey, I got a doubleheader this Sunday, they're like, what?
What are you doing that for?
Our social construct is so fucked up that if somebody loves tennis or basketball or baseball, if they didn't go pro by the age of 20, if you're playing those sports after the age of 20, you're like a weirdo, or you're like a, what are you wasting your life for? Dude, this is why there's so much mental health issues in our country. Everyone is taught and told we have to stop doing the shit that we love. Why? Who tells us this stuff? I'm going to play baseball until I'm a fucking 100 years old. I'm not chasing the dream of trying to be pro.
Mental health is, I just gotta say, mental health is a little bit different than societal, like, bullshit. They're two different things, but I agree with you that we live in a society and a world that is chronically depressed. Well, I'm a psychologist, so, I mean, we can have that conversation off this, but, we live in a society where we're consistently told that we have to fit into a box. And that societal depression, right, is not necessarily mental illness, but it is mental, like fitness, right?
I'm saying the same thing you're saying. You're just smarter and clarifying it. Yeah, no, for real. Keep going.
I take that, but it is. There's this, but I think that words matter, and I think that mental fitness is what happens and what we lose when we stop, like you said, doing what we love. Number one, when we prioritize what everybody else has prioritized. Right? So whether that be like, getting the career that you really didn't want, but dad did it, so I got to do it. Or, living in the neighborhood that you really don't want to live in, but like this is where you can have the, the pool. And so I think you're absolutely right. And I think you're on to something. And I think that sports, teamwork, and sportsmanship really bring something to people because you stop winning after a certain point. Right? So like after high school, you stop winning, you stop achieving, you stop working towards goals. And those are the things that motivate us as people to keep going.
Yep.
Like birthdays. That's what we celebrate. Birthdays. Yeah, you made it another year. Like that's so dumb, right?
I know.
We don't celebrate like, holy shit, like you won the science fair, right? Like you finished like another season.
Any
but I agree
accomplishment
with you, like,
in something you love.
So, speaking of accomplishments, I mentioned earlier it took me 20 years to win one championship. You've won 4 in this past 12 months. Is it like surreal? Like what? Does it feel like, all your hard work has paid off? Like what's going through your head when, not only you won 1, 2, 3, but 4 championships in the last year?
And which ones were they? Yeah, which ones were they? Explain.
Yeah, go ahead.
So to be honest with you, Field of Screams tournament last year, we won the WBC this year.
28s, BNBL.
We won the 28s, and then we won the CHBL.
He's having a hard time remembering. There's so many.
Like,
no, I'm gonna actually tell you why I'm having a hard time remembering. So, here's the thing, and this is what I want to kind of spread and get people to understand. Winning and losing, to me, is a mindset. I have won so much more from the things that have been bad that have happened in my life. I have won so much more from losing games than I have winning, in a way. So it's like almost, in the 28s, we swept the playoffs, okay? Halfway through that season for the Angels, I'm like, we need to blow this thing up. We're just not, this isn't working. We're not getting along. And then I was like, geez, when I go and guest play for that team, like, I'm a different guy. And I'm not doing that for my Angels, right? I'm not being that infectious personality. I'm not leading the way I need to lead. And when I play bad, I'm letting it affect everybody else instead of just being the leader that I am. And just pivoting back to that and being grateful that I even get to play. I just missed a whole season from my ACL. What happened to, this is what I told Mark, because there was a time where Mark was in his hospital bed and I was in my hospital bed at the same time. He was getting his heart transplant or waiting for his heart, and I was on the bed getting my ACL done. And I'm texting him going, bro, I just want to play and love it again. Where's that? That right there is what winning is. So whether you win the championship or you don't, when you're playing with that mindset, when you're playing with that confidence, winning happens as the side effect. However, not being afraid to lose has changed my entire life. Even when I used to coach, if we like got second place, I'd be like, oh my God, I failed these kids. This was terrible. And then I look over at those kids and they're like, God, we fought our asses off in that game. That was a fucking awesome game. We lost. And then the next weekend we go and we buzz someone 12-1 in the championship and they're like, that was fucking boring. It's like, I'd rather lose a battle because I think that's what leads to the winning. So again, I literally don't remember those things. I think the first thing, the Field of Screams tournament is actually the field when we won the finals is the field that I tore my ACL on. So that was an incredible moment. My teammates went out there with me. We went to the spot where I tore my ACL. We prayed before the game. We prayed after the game. I'm telling you, I don't care how religious you are on any level. I have my own version of God. I don't have any type of religion that I fall into. When you can bond with people on that level, bro, I don't care if you're in the major leagues, the Japan League, the Inner City League, the CHBL, the Field of Screams tournament, a fucking softball league. We're doing crochet. We're friggin' in a book club. If you love, I'm telling you, if you love one of those things and you find people who also love those things and you can love each other through it, there you go. That's love. That's love. That's winning. That is more important to me than the trophies. We ordered rings for the Angels. I didn't even get one, bro. I don't want one. I don't need a fucking ring.
It sounds like you're talking about family, man. Like everything you're saying, like this, it sounds like you're talking about family. And I think that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what Omar's trying to create. And I think we need to give people a safe place to be able to get back into baseball too. And I think that's what Omar's trying to do with Boston Baseball. And I think more people need to start supporting that, because when I see the guy at the gym who's me a year ago and he's 40 pounds overweight and he's like, nah, dude, I haven't played since high school. Bro, that guy's life would change if he just dropped 20 pounds, got into a league where he could play and feel good about himself.
Yeah. But wait, pause though. This just happened a year ago? Johnny, this ACL thing just happened a year ago?
Well, so it's a year recovery. So,
okay, so 2 years ago it happened?
2 years ago on December 1st is when I had my surgery. And then it's a full 9-month to 12-month recovery. Here's the kicker.
Wow.
I played my first game back in 5 months.
Holy shit.
And actually, let's go even further than that. And, you don't have to be religious or anything like that. Omar, you remember Harley on your team?
Yeah.
My first game back was against fucking Havoc, dude. My first game back was against Havoc. And we played...
At Trum.
What? No, it wasn't Trum. It wasn't that game. That was my first home run.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that home run.
Okay. We played at Alumni.
Yeah.
And Harley hit a triple. And when he got to third, he was like, hey, you almost had that one. You know how Dowdy loves to just buzz one through that 5-6 hole on the left side. He's the ground ball smoke through the infield king. Yeah. Dowdy rips one, and I wanted to dive, but I told myself already I'm not diving yet. And I half dove. And bro, I go to Harley, yeah, man, I'm coming back from ACL, and I had the big brace on, he could tell, and he goes, hey, I had the same injury, bro. Yo, how many triples you seen Harley hit? There ain't many, bro. For him to hit a triple and be over there at third base with me, right before that happened, for him to tell me, hey, don't rush it back. You're going to know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Dude, I took the next month off. I could have hurt myself, but somebody sent me him, dude. I'm telling you, bro. That's the shit that's crazy.
Yeah. Harlan, you're talking about Harlan, right?
I don't know, dude. Big dude, bro. He's
Harlan. Yeah,
Harlan.
He's a military guy. Yeah.
Harlan, bro.
Yeah,
Such
Harlan.
a good guy.
Yeah. Harlan, yeah.
Have
I know
a
what you're
game.
talking about. But yeah, the way I look at it is that we play the game because we love it, you know, and it's not because we're living the dream. No, we actually are living the dream because we can still play the sport we love.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No matter the age you are, we can still compete. You know, I know people that they work for a living and they have nothing else. You know, they have no extracurricular activities. It's just boring, and at least we can still keep our competitive juices going. We build relationships, we network, we build, and that's the biggest thing about these leagues is the people that connect, that would never ever connect. I wouldn't know you guys if it wasn't for baseball.
That's
Think
exactly
about
it.
that.
And again,
that's what it's about, always.
Yo, it's no problem for people to go, hey, we hopping on COD tonight from 8 p.m. to fucking 4 in the morning, ruining their life doing that. I did that for years, dude. And you wake up tired the next day. Now your relationships suffer, but you're chasing something. But if I want to go play baseball from 7 to 9 p.m., they're like, yo, what are you chasing? Yeah. Bro, you just played 6 hours a night on Xbox and your family's suffering because of it, dude. Like, why is that okay in our society? But playing baseball, everyone's like, oh, no, dude, when I got to high school, I was done. Like, No, dude, that.
Well, it's the difference between accepted and not accepted, right? Understood and not understood. If you can't understand it, it's got to be crazy. And so people can understand and accept the fact that somebody's sitting on an Xbox for 6 hours, but the fact that somebody would then go and play baseball after work, that's crazy. People who go to the gym, people who run, like you hear it all the time, you know? So I think that
it's our job to
you got to
change
find your
that
people.
signal.
You got to find, right, but you also have to find your people who motivate you, and then the people who aren't on your level, man, they're not on your level.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, but it's our job too to
can.
take those people that are ready to come to our level and bring them up with us.
Fact on fact, but I'm not bringing somebody with me who's dragging me down.
And that is so real right there. That is literally my
time.
entire life change is that. Everyone who was dragging me down, even the closest people to me, snip, you're out.
Yep.
I can't do it anymore. I love you, mean it.
Yep. Right.
So I
Back
just
in the day, go ahead, Daniel. Sorry.
no. I
Daniel Felger.
don't mean to switch
Yeah,
subjects
he looks
or.
like Felger, dude.
I know.
Daniel Felger.
I wanted to show you guys a cool video. You know, we were talking about how Johnny coaches a girls softball team, and this video is something I wanted to show. I'll show it now.
Those are my girls, baby. Oh, thank you for that, Dan.
Omar
to
gets
Kelvin, bro.
Omar gets his little plug too. But
Shout
no,
out
I
to
saw that
Kelvin
on
for
your
that
Instagram,
video, bro.
your Instagram page, and I wanted to show the people because I thought that was pretty cool, and it shows how much you enjoy coaching them, and
how amazing and happy they look. I mean,
yes,
happy, you know? Like,
yes.
And there's no
Confident.
screen in front of their face, and there's no, like, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and sorry for anybody out there who's, like, a pageant person, but, right, there's no bullshit makeup and like, this is girls in their just element, doing their thing, recognizing their power. I'm all for it, Johnny. If you ever need anybody to help out, you let me know.
Oh, that's sweet. That's freaking sweet. I gotta say,
I mean, she used to play.
when I was growing up, man, even recently in the men's league, right? Like, I fall on that border of showboating. Some people don't like it, but listen, when I do something good, man, when I do something that makes me feel like I can shoot lightning from my fingers and I feel energetic, I'm letting that out. And guess what? When you're on my team and you do that, I'm pushing that out of you too. Because that's one of the things that I love playing with Havoc. I love playing with the Angels. I get to be who I am, and I'm there to bring everyone who's a 7 goes to a 9 when I'm there. Everyone who's a 5 goes to a 7. Everyone goes up 2 notches when I'm there. And that's who I want to be. And I want to be that in my real life. I want to be that in my coaching life. I want to be that in my baseball life, because we all need those type of people. And I was given that gift where I have the ability to do that. And I now have the confidence to be able to do it. So it's even going to grow even more, because I want you to feel good about yourself. When Omar scoops me one at first base, bro, I'm the first one over there. I'm sprinting over to him like, let's fucking go. Like, Scoopski potatoes, let's go. Like, dude, whatever comes out of your freaking mouth, bro, it doesn't, just let it fly. And I grew up in the generation where it was like, you hit a home run and you have, you know, I got to be Barry Sanders and hand the ball to the rep. Like, no, fuck that. I'm like, like, I got to let that fly. Like, and I love that we're evolving as humans to a place where we're allowed, where it's more acceptable to act like that. Because we're at our best when we're like that. If you think of like a toddler, right? Toddler falls down and gets hurt and they cry. We're like, who's looking at us? I don't want to cry in front of you know, someone says something that's funny. A toddler just they just start laughing, right? Us, we're like, well, what if I offend so-and-so by laughing? Or they just act in raw emotion, bro. And for me, on the baseball field, when I'm coaching, I just let those emotions flow. And I think we need to be more like that as a human race. We need to just let our emotions be. And everyone's just got to suck it up, because sometimes shit's funny. Sometimes you're going to, like, misspeak and sound like a fucking idiot. Who cares?
Well said. Who cares? I know
Exactly.
I know that's Angie's philosophy.
Right?
Did we lose
No,
Angie?
but honestly, here's the other thing. When it comes to Omar, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about my relationship with you.
Yeah.
And how it started and how it is now, okay? Because this is something that everybody out there listening, especially all the fucking haters that hate for Omar, or anybody who's like felt like they've been wronged by Omar. Bro, the me today is nothing compared to the me 6 months ago, and a year ago, and a year and a half ago. If I wronged you, if I did this to you, we got into a spat, whatever. Yo, I'm sorry. Like, look, that's life. We are never going to be perfect. We are never going to do things.
Never.
And never going to do things to where everybody likes your decision, right? And especially when you're doing things that influence a lot of people, now you have more people that you have to either satisfy or dissatisfy. What Omar is doing is fucking great. It's excellent. And when I first heard about Omar, and I heard this or that, and people are telling me what they think about Omar before I even meet Omar, instead of going in with an open mind and seeing Omar for who he is, I'm going in there with what I heard from that person, what I heard from this person, what I heard from that person. And then my first interaction with Omar, I wanted to play a travel tournament. Mark wanted to play a travel tournament, to be honest. And I wanted to go with him, right? Because that's my boy. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's go play with Omar. And he's like, I don't know. You know, you heard this, you heard that. Dude, like, fuck it. Who cares, bro? He's giving us the opportunity to play baseball in January. That's the truth. So then I go down there, right? And I'm going down there with this stigma. So I'm like, I got you under a microscope for no fucking reason other than
Always.
so-and-so. Say it again?
Always, bro. That's what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, so I'm going in there with this predetermined notion. So then now it's like the first impression means so much, which first impressions are fucking garbage. I probably make a terrible first impression, and I'm an amazing person. You just need to get past that shitty first impression when I'm all nervous or whatever. Like, honestly. So you get to this point where you do something that's like a 2, and I'm like, that was a 7 because so-and-so said, bah, 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 da, 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 da. So now I'm like, whatever. And then me and you get into this spat, whatever, ba-ba-da-da. And then I'm like, yup, there's the Omar everyone talks about. Meanwhile, it's all made up. Like, it's all just, like, preconceived and, like, blown up into something it isn't. And people say that about me, too, where they're probably like, oh, there's that motherfucker again, like, showboating, flipping his bat. Like, duh. They have no clue what I've had to go through to even play baseball. Right? They have no clue how much I invest.
But you can't care about that shit, right? Like, you can't care about that.
Right.
Zero fucks.
Right.
When I turned 40, I was like, zero fucks expressed, fueled by champagne. Like, I have no time. And I think, right, that's when your entire view on the world changes, because you're no longer living for everybody else. You're living for yourself.
It's so true.
And, like,
so
how
true.
fun is that?
Yo,
how fun is that?
That is it.
It just happens. I seriously, like, the day I turned 40, I just woke up and just like, fuck it. I think.
I know.
Just,
When
like,
did, like, the brain evolve to a level where it was just like, oh, wait, I don't give up. Like, so now let's fast forward. End of the tournament, after me and Omar got into a spat, he comes up to me and apologizes. And I wanted to go up to him and apologize. We both wanted to apologize. We're both apologizing almost for nothing, because nothing happened.
It was just two competitors. So you guys can know, because I think Johnny doesn't understand. The first base coach, we spoke during the beginning of the game. I'm like, if there's a fly ball and it's going to be in my area, I'm going to get out of your way and you can go field it. So there's a fly ball in the 6th inning. It's a close game, 0-0, and the man doesn't move. And I had to go like this. I still caught it. But remember, we were talking earlier. I got a dislocated left shoulder. And I'm like, oh, my God. I felt it pop. I'm like, oh, my God. So when I stopped, I looked at him and I got mad. And Johnny looks at me. He's like, what are you getting mad for? You caught it, right? He's like, you want me to stop pitching? I'm like, oh, man. And then the younger Omar would have said something back, but I let him say, because he's new to the team. I'm like, we go to the bench. He's saying his spiel. I'm saying my spiel. But I'm like, you know what? We came down together, and we're in Florida. You know? And I'm like, I'm not going to make this man feel uncomfortable, because if he's right, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. We're brothers. We're here together. So I said to him, I'm sorry. And then he said, I'm sorry, too. And then it was love after that, you know, because I feel like a lot of the times we hold emotions inside when we're competing, and we don't want to be the bigger man and apologize. I feel like the older I get, I don't care about apologizing, because to me, it's like, I think that shows that you're a big man when you apologize, when you know you're wrong, you know? And it's also on the other end, when you know you're right, it's okay to speak your opinion, but you know what? I was right. But let's talk about it. How can we come together in terms, you know? And I've learned that the older I get, because Johnny, you know, he's outspoken. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy. But if you don't know him, the first time I met him, he hit a home run off of us, and he said some shit. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is this guy? We're playing that Trump. I'm like, who is this guy? Because he's talking shit. But what he was saying was, ACL, because it's ACL. Again, it's all about
It's
people
perspective.
Yes. And then I understood his story, and I'm like, I would do the same thing, because that's ACL is a big, you know what I mean? So and I'm glad.
So that was my first home run post ACL, okay?
Was that at Trum?
At Trump, and he's showboating. He's like, yeah.
And I hit that shit off
would
the
too.
fucking roof of the VFW building. That was the
Yeah,
first
he
one
hit a
of my life.
bomb. But you hit it.
That is a shot.
Okay.
That's a moonshot.
You hit it off of Tom Wagner.
And I'm turning halfway around first, and I give it a big woo. And then I'm like,
Ric Flair.
and again, I just like, it just came out. And then I'm turning second. I go, brand new ACL, bitches. They probably think I'm saying like, fuck having you bitches. Like, who the hell knows what I'm saying right to them? They don't know.
And that's what we thought, Johnny. We're like, what? We're like, what? He just said.
The game that we streamed, that we live streamed.
Yes.
When I was like screaming, I was like, he mashed it. He fucking
No.
mashed it.
That's a WBC. That's a WBC.
Oh, that was a WBC. Okay, my bad.
WBC. Yeah. But that game is funny, because they were kicking the shit out of us, and we had some internal problem with the team, And before he hit the home run, my second baseman's calling me out because I'm in the launch chair with my feet up on the fence in the bench. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck you doing?" Because we were like, whatever. They're kicking our ass, and you know, again, running a men's team for me is the hardest thing in sports. As a coach,
it's so hard, dude.
As a coach,
which is crazy.
Everyone, y'all are so emotional, but you don't want to admit it.
No, we are, but everyone's better than what they think they are.
You're not wrong.
You know, and I should be playing here and all this. So I'm like, all right. So I let the guys do whatever they wanted that game. I didn't play that game, but I was watching the ass kicking. But then Johnny, he put the cherry on the top.
Oh,
he's
terrible,
like,
dude.
ACL. I'm like,
I twisted
what?
the knife.
I'm like, what?
Was it a solo shot?
I don't care what it was. But he made sure, and then he flipped the back.
It was a close game when I hit it.
Yeah, but after that, the whole hell broke loose. The game was wasn't close.
Johnny's the typical type. Like, if you play with him, you love him. You play against him, you hate him. That's.
So I'm trying to actually change that because, to be
I
honest,
mean, don't. I mean, I'm not saying.
No, I do want to change that, and that's the thing where it's like, again, it's an aura thing because of the way I come off. I really trying to dedicate to not being that. Like when we made it to the championship in the 28s, and you know we're facing the Spinners or whatever, right? I got up in like one of the first innings. I hit a single. You know, I'm on first base, right? It's an RBI single, whatever. I'm pointing to the dugout, like let's, you know, like whatever. And I put my hand out to the first baseman. I'm like, "Yo, congrats, man!" And I just hit an RBI single to go up 1-0 in the championship, and I'm like, "Yo, congrats, man!" He's like, "Congrats on what, dude?" And I'm like, "Oh, making it to the championship, bro. Like, hey, it's all gravy now. Like, we're gonna play the maximum amount of games in this year. Who cares? It's all gravy now." I get to the third baseman. I try to do the same thing. And he's like,
all business.
What, dude? What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, for just making it to the championship. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't think you guys would be here. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, nobody thought you were going to beat the Bombers. Let's be honest. Nobody thought you were going to beat the Bombers.
Yeah, well, when Jonny Mac wants to pitch, 31 innings this year, 0 earned runs.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So you didn't pitch much during the regular season. Was it just because of your injury, and you finally felt okay by the postseason?
Personally, I don't want to pitch anymore.
I don't blame you.
Nobody does.
It hurts.
I love pitching. I think I'm probably in shape I think my body's in shape now, and going forward to be able to pitch, and I'm going to train it a little bit more. However, yeah, coming off the injury, pitching wasn't something that I really wanted to do too much. But then we had an injury to one of our top pitchers, Brian Reyes, our big lefty, right, and I could foresee Brock Riley just saying, I'll just take the ball every game.
And he did want that, according to Mark.
And I really couldn't care to see Brock get hurt over 28 plus minutes league. Right. So I'm like, bro, me and you, we can ride this out. Right. And Nick jumped in and threw a great game. Funny story, when Nick Godfrey came in to pitch the game, I think it was against the Spinners.
He's an animal.
Animal. He's a great guy. He goes, hey, I'm going to, instead of closing the game, I'll just open it, and then you can have the rest. And I go, all right, dude, sick. See how you feel. Go like 1 or 2 innings, and then I'll pitch the rest of the game. Bro, we get to the third inning. I'm trotting out there to go to third base, and I'm like, you still on the mound? We going out for the 4th inning. I'm like, all right, I'm done talking to you. You just tell me when. He goes all 7 innings. Yeah. And it's just like, all right, cool. I'll grab game 3. We're good. So it ended up working out really good with that. But I'm very talented at pitching. I'm lucky. I've always naturally had really good stuff. Credit to whoever showed me that shit growing up.
I mean, you shut out the Bombers, which never happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. So 22 innings I pitched in that league, 0 runs, not earned runs. And I pitched 9 innings in the WBC, 0 earned runs, one run. So
amazing.
Yeah, so 31 innings my first year back from
You also
ACL,
no wait. You
0
also
runs.
pitched. You also pitched in Florida.
Right, and I pitched
And
in
you only-
Florida, 0 earned runs down there too. So
Yeah.
and that was 7 innings, I think, or 6. I don't know if we were home or away. I think it might have been 6. But yeah, so almost 40 innings this year and 0 earned runs. So that's kind of crazy if you think about it, and you sit back and reflect on a year that was my first year back from ACL surgery, major ACL surgery, reconstruction. I'm just now getting my quad back to strength because they had to take a literal piece of it. But it's pretty phenomenal.
I mean, I didn't have a surgery or recovery that I had to go through, but I pitched because we had nobody else. My 45-plus team, I pitched 3 innings, and I couldn't wipe my ass for 2 weeks.
We have a question in the chat, though. Can I ask this one?
Please,
so
go ahead.
Justin DiFilippo wants to know if Johnny Mac's aura level is as high as a first edition shiny Charizard. Pokemon player, Johnny? Really?
My aura is not quite first edition Johnny Charizard.
Great question.
Wait. Hold on a sec.
I will say we've had the most viewers we've ever had.
Consistently.
On an episode,
Oh, there's
right?
the Charizard right there.
Oh, so there's
There
a
he is. That's
there's a
where you,
backstory.
Justin. There's your
I'm
Charizard.
in
Where am
Zach's
I? On the
office,
left,
and
right
Zach
here.
has his,
There's your Charizard.
I don't know what this thing is.
What?
But I know
No
it's
way you got a
Pokemon.
Zapdos. Let's go.
I'm missing out.
That's my
I don't
husband.
got any Pokemon. How about you, Omar?
Zach's office. He's got a
I
whole
don't
bunch
have
of
a
them, actually.
Pokemon.
No.
But I do like the fact that we're wearing glasses.
It's
I think
a
it's
me too,
different.
man.
It's
Oh,
a
I
I think
good-
it's
can't-
different.
can't
I think it's
see
different.
Shit, but
Fucking Dan looks like Michael Felker.
He does.
Hey,
Felker-
Yo,
does-
Pokemon is metaphorical, dude. It's a metaphor.
Hey.
It's about evolving.
right.
That's what we're all trying to do. And Omar's trying to evolve the game of baseball and get more people playing it. And everyone's got to respect him for that. I got so much respect and love for Omar. I think people need to get to know who Omar is today and stop making these bullshit assumptions of what you think might have happened or what you think did happen, or even if he did do something wrong to you. Yo, life goes on, man. None of us are going to be perfect. Omar is a phenomenal person. I fucking love Omar. All those jerseys that you see right there that my girls wear, we have the hottest jerseys in the game. Omar supplies those, custom made. And that's not just why I like him because we have the coolest jerseys. I like Omar because
How much do you pay him?
Hey.
Ray, what's the going rate?
Hey,
Yo,
at the end of, you know what it is?
I
'Cause
can't be bought, bro.
Never. And you know what it is? I told Dan this for years. When you move righteous, the right people are going to gravitate to you. And when you're doing what you're doing, and he mentioned it earlier, the more people you collaborate with, there's going to be relationships that don't work, you know? And I've always prided myself in is the people that I deal with daily, I make sure I treat them right. And there's going to be times that I have a bad day and I might treat you wrong. But if I see you, I'll be the first person to apologize. You know, I don't have no hair in my tongue to say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. You know? And I feel like if more of us act that way and understand that when we make a mistake, it's okay to say, I'm sorry. Because nobody's perfect. None of us are perfect. You know? And once we realize that, we're going to be in a better realm as a country, as a city, as baseball community, as Boston baseball. Once we understand that at the end of the day, we should have the same message and do this for each other, we're going to be all right. But if this fucking selfishness keeps going...
It's that male thing Angie was talking about earlier, man.
Yeah, man.
I was keeping my mouth shut. You
No,
said
leave that shit alone.
No,
They
it's
gotta
true.
leave
It
that
is,
shit
it is us
alone.
males because
Yeah.
we feel this losing
Ego.
and
It's
winning.
Ego. What ego?
It's the ego thing. It's losing and winning. Like
Ego.
if me and Omar get into an argument, somebody has to win. No. Neither one of us
No.
are winning if we're arguing. It's me and Omar versus the problem, not me or Omar is the problem.
You have to find out a solution. And the way I look at it is, if you have an issue with something, you have a solution.
Everything can be worked out.
Everything
So
can
now
be
that you
worked
say that
out.
with the solutions, can we talk about the last couple of weeks' episodes? Because I got some beef with some of the things that were said, and I just want to get into a couple things about travel ball, and like travel ball got brought up as if it's bad and it's like destroying stuff because I feel like a lot of people are still living in 1970 and 1980, and it's 2025. It's time to stop thinking about kids going outside and doing this stuff. These kids in travel ball, these kids that play baseball and play softball, I'm sorry. You guys see them on their tablets or on their social media, and you think like, oh, they're social media kids. They don't want to try. I'm telling you, I know you think it's just my group. It's not just my group. These kids do baseball and softball and sports and that sport and this sport and going to this and going to that more than we ever did. Ever. They are in organized things.
I don't think that I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because I wanted to mention something like that as well, because it was Ed Neal had made that comment about travel ball was kind of destroying town ball, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
That comment?
Yeah.
So I hear you, and I think the more that we talked about it, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think what he was trying to say was that because kids were going to do this kind of thing, nobody was playing travel ball anymore. And nobody's playing town ball anymore. And it's true, right? Yeah, sorry. But like town ball is getting smaller and smaller, and some cities don't even have enough kids to play. And I think because there are so many kids who are going towards these elite teams, which I get, right? Like you want to play with kids who are on your level, you want to grow. You're not going to grow if you're trying to, tell Timmy with, zero skill how to get out of the way. So I get that too. But I think that, when you have a town team, you don't have the ability to cultivate such a great team. And there's a little bit more trials and tribulations that I think build a player, even if it's not going to be an elite player. But I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you. I don't think that anybody was trying to say that those players weren't good or was a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. I just think what it did was it killed the pickup games. There's nobody around to play pickup games anymore.
Yeah, it's true. And Dan had mentioned, like, you're not just allowed to just show up to a field and play on a field. You need permits to be on a field and all this stuff and everything. But I mean, for me, I didn't really want it to come across like that, even though I just kind of came in hot with that. But what I kind of meant is, like, when we were growing up playing, when the 3 to 4 bottom kids were on the team were playing, and they strike out every single at bat, and they don't want to be there, and their parents are forcing them to be there. Like, do they really need to be there? Like, those are the kids that made our leagues as big as they were. The actual true talent that was there. Today's top talent, top 20 kids in their town are far better, far more advanced than the top 20 kids when we were growing up. We just have this inflated view of ourselves when we were growing up. They've got way more access to things. They're practicing way more. It's just one of those things that I was kind of thinking about. And I know the leagues is an issue, and we have this town ball thing in our mind, but it's like that is what travel is. The B-level travel is essentially town ball, but it's just it is actually a better product than what town ball was when we were growing up.
Yeah, I think it's just different. It's not what people are used to. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that one.
And we're going to dive into that actually next week. Rob Zorian is going to be on, and I know youth baseball was something that he wanted to talk about.
Excellent.
So
he's great.
Yeah, that'll be good for next week.
All right, last thing. I got questions for the umpires.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Uh-oh.
I want to talk about the umpire shortage real quick, because it's happening, like Omar was saying, across the United States. Yeah. And I think everyone is so quick to say the parents are just treating the umps way worse than ever before. Guys, take a look in the mirror. Think about when we were growing up, how ridiculous our parents were to those umpires growing up. It was constant. It was no different then than it is now. We just have video cameras on our...
Yeah.
We all carry baby TVs around and can get it on video.
No. It's always been the same, man. Just like what's going on in our country. It's all been history always.
It's always been there.
What's changed is technology. Technology has brought everything to the forefront. Because everyone could just put their phone on.
Female sports, nobody came to watch me do shit, so they just weren't there.
I feel like we had a lot of people growing up that would go to the games. You guys, that was another thing that was talked about, where it was like, you know, we used to have back in the 80s, we had this many people in the games. It's like, dude, you had five television channels and they didn't even come in clearly. Like, no shit, people would go out and watch it.
And you had
Right,
to change
okay.
it. That's how you change the channel.
So it's like the objective should be, how can we get decent equipment for the leagues? We have all this money donated, but we can't get equipment to video the games and put them out there. Like, I mean, Game Changer is this incredible app. Like, every single game that I coach, I have recorded. Every single game that I play, I have recorded. And guess what? We all have that little baby TV that's capable of doing it.
Yeah, I don't know why more leagues don't do it. But like I said last episode, like a lot of the youth games I did, most of them, there was a camera, you know, behind home plate using Game Changer.
The leagues don't do it because the leagues say, this is how we've always done it. Just like when Omar tries to collaborate with another league and they just go, oh, I don't know, we haven't never done that. It's like, come on, bro, it's 2025. It's time to step into the future. Like, we have all these opportunities to do this stuff. Why shouldn't we do it? Again, collaborate, get together. That's what, I mean, every good thing that's ever happened for us as a human race is us getting together.
What's up, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Jimmy Wilson says,
Jimmy Wilson.
did he say that?
Man.
Travel ball's watered down.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. Because every
if you're
player
paying
that wants
thousands
to
of
play has
dollars,
to
you're
go
going
travel
to
ball.
practice. Oh, sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Well, the
I was
parents
going to say, if you're paying
make them
thousands of
practice.
dollars for travel ball, it's probably the one sport you're playing, right? But I think a lot of towns, town ball is just something else you add into your schedule. And like, there's zero practices. My kid was on a town league. There were zero practices. The kids just showed up to games, right?
Listen.
Because so-and-so couldn't do this, so-and-so couldn't do that. But if you're paying thousands of dollars for your travel ball team, you're showing up to every game, you're showing up to every practice, and your coaches are legit, not just some parents who have like volunteered.
I think it has to do with passion, and you have to be a part of like the right program. Is the game watered down? Absolutely. But if you get with the right programs, your kids are gonna benefit the best, because every good ball player remembers the coach that changed their lives. Like, when you're a coach, this is why I know Johnny's gonna be great in what he's doing, because he's impacting these girls' lives. And when Johnny even plays in the adult baseball, he impacts adults' lives, because he would be there and his energy is different. And me and him talk all the time. He said, Omar, you have the same thing. So at the end of the day, we have to use what we was given by God and give it to the world, so we can all come together. Because what was going to make baseball, softball, elite baseball is if everybody comes together and bring the game back. Because at the end of the day is, we want people to play baseball. We want people to play softball, you know? But we also want to teach the game right. And sports is a bigger thing than sports. Sports is life-changing. Sports gets you ready for life.
Yep.
I tell my daughters that all the time. Baby, play a sport, because it's going to get you ready for your day-to-day life. It's going to show you how to be respectful. It's going to show you how to be competitive. It's going to show you how to be a good teammate. It's going to show you how to care. Someone falls or gets hurt. Can you pick them up? Not what I see right now in the streets. People don't hold the doors. So now more than ever, guys like Johnny, guys like myself, we're important to this new generation because we care. We're not better than nobody, but we care. And we need more people like that, because we can help change what's going on now.
Charlie York says that Johnny Mac is him. I'd have to agree, Johnny. I think what you're talking about is some serious, great stuff. I think these are the kind of coaches that kids need. And I think, just like you said before, this isn't baseball like when we were kids. This is not the same thing. And we have to, as coaches and as what's the word? I don't know, as like proponents of the sport,
Mentors.
right? Mentors, right? But as advocates of the sport, like really kind of push this same kind of mentality forward, and we have to evolve. We have to evolve with where these kids are at today, and they're in a different place than we ever were.
Again, that's the other thing where it's like, if you were to listen to Patty Gasto, who is the Oklahoma, they just went back to 4 in a row, right? Never been
Yeah,
done.
she's amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Everybody hates it that they're winning. They're like the Yankees or like the Patriots, right? And she's evolving as a coach. She says it herself. Yeah. This generation needs to play a certain way. And I think here's the problem with Boston baseball. We've got an older generation that's not evolving with us. And we got to be able to do it.
Yep.
We got to be able to do it. We got to be able to force our way in there to let them collab with us, because it's going to work for us. It's going to work for them. They're just hesitant because that's what their generation was. They're the people that like lock their doors and, you know, I like if somebody wants to break into your house, no offense, but like you're locking and doing shit. So it's like,
what about my ring cam? My ring cam's going to do something though.
Right.
That will get them
And
caught.
that's why we all have cameras and all this stuff, and they're like, oh no, I'll just lock my door like I've always locked my door. Like, it's not 1980 anymore. Like, what are we doing? Like, anyway, that's a terrible example of what I'm talking about. But we as mentors, as people, just need to be better in all things. Because here's the one thing that I kind of love now. It's one thing to wear somebody else's logo when you're in public. Or have you ever seen those sweatshirts where you buy a sweatshirt, they buy a sweatshirt, it says like, dear person behind me, you know?
Yeah.
The world is better because you're here. You know, if you have this negative outlook on people, which I feel like a lot of people have, where it's like...
I actually have one of those sweatshirts, Johnny, so don't say anything bad about them.
I was going to say the catchers...
No, so I'm not.
I was going to say the catchers that have the I Love Umpire stickers.
I love those kids.
Yeah,
I'm like, I love you too, buddy.
No, so this is great. So ready? When you're at a red light and you're the second car in line and the light turns green and the person in front of you doesn't see the light, if your instinct is to beep or to say, you know, what's going on with this guy? You know, or if you're in public and you're like, oh, these people in front of me are walking slow, and you just have this like anxiety of like wanting to pass judgment on everybody you walk by and not pass love to those people, that's a major problem. Because if you wear one of those sweatshirts like you just said, go wear that in public and now try and act negative towards anybody. You have a sweatshirt on that's trying to spread positivity. I have one. It says,
I think that's a Boston thing. I think it's a Boston thing.
It says, be kind. And it's on the back, it says, everybody's fighting battles you know nothing about. How am I going to wear that sweatshirt and go in public and then an old lady's walking in front of me and I go, oh, God, can I go around? I'm telling you. Or you wear your logo. This is my brand. This is my logo. Yeah. Omar, you got CHBL on. You gonna go beeping at somebody? You gonna go acting like an asshole in public because you're frustrated over nothing? Or somebody walked in front of you in line? I'm telling you, I am at the point right now in my life, if I go to the Longhorn Steakhouse and I order a medium steak and they bring me raw pasta, I'm gonna eat the fucking raw pasta. I just don't fucking care that much. If you're the person that goes to the restaurant and you're like, wow, waitress hasn't come back in a while, yo, cut. You're out of my life. Get away from me.
You're going to be the next Tony Robbins, I think.
Each other in baseball.
You're going to be the next Tony Robbins, Johnny Mac.
No,
you're motivating me.
This is becoming a little philosophical.
I think
poetic.
I think we all need a little Johnny in our lives because, you know, in a world that we live in now, that everybody is negative, you know, and we got to spread more positivity, you know, and life.
How can you think that the world is negative and I think that the world is super positive? How is that a possibility? We all have our own perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, but I think is seeing the better in life. Like, think about this. They've always told me it could be worse. No matter what you're going through, it could be worse because you're here. You know what I'm saying? And there's been people that's been put in deeper situations that you have. And some of your problems, some people wish you had them. You know, and I think if you live by that, you know, and life gets tough, especially the older you get. I remember me having a conversation with Dan once. Dan was telling me, the older we get, we're gonna attend more funerals than we attend weddings. Dan, you told me that a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's true.
That's something, man. That's deep.
And that's real life. You feel me? And I feel like we're here for a purpose. And if this is why you brought the question earlier, why we're doing this. I feel like we're doing this for this. Like, how can we come together and be better people?
Impactful.
Like, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, I wanted to do this so people can see who I really am. Because you can hear what you heard, but when you hear me every week, I'm dedicating my Sundays to this shit. I have to just say goodnight to my daughter like this. You know what I mean? And I'm here every Sunday, and I'm being honest and genuine. I feel like platforms like these, and even if it's you, someone else then people like misjudge you, because it's easy to misjudge someone and not be in their shoes. Now I have more respect for the people that everyone misjudges, because you never been in their shoes. As a leader, you go through so much shit that if I'm having that bad day and you call me, oh, Omar's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, man. We don't deploy empathy enough.
Yeah, we don't. And we have
You got to deploy that empathy, man.
We have to.
And you know what? Sometimes you don't always need to ask the question. Sometimes you can just walk up, and sometimes I'm dapping you up, Omar, and I feel your energy's off, and I can just be like, yo, you good? And you could just be like, yeah, I'm all right, bro. And we don't need to dig too deep into it, but just need to know, hey, I got you, bro. Whatever it is, hey.
Yeah. One of my players, I haven't talked to him since the season ended. I hit him up. I'm not going to say his name to respect to him. I'm like, yo, you good? Are you coming back? And he's like, yo, Omar, I'm going through some depression stuff right now in my life. And I'm like, I've never expected that type of him to ever go through that. And I'm like, yo, my brother. Taking for someone that's gone through depression, sometimes your happiness is right in front of you, bro. Get out of your head.
Perspective, bro.
Perspective. Your problems to someone else could be minute. Some people are going through worse in life, but it's
you could be
wrong. Wait a minute, but there's nothing
perspective
wrong with
is everything.
Help.
No, I'm not. I never said there's nothing wrong with that. I never said that.
What I'm saying that sometimes it's not about just trying to see the grass is greener. Sometimes it is about being like, I got stuff that I got to figure out, right? And like this does suck, you know.
100%.
Like it does suck, but you know, and like I think going back to kind of Johnny's story, right? Then like the suck was like your ACL, but then being like, all right, I'm not going to live here. But it did suck for a minute, and you lived in that for a minute, you know, and then you got out of it. But I think that, you know, one of the things, and I will say this, one of the things we do have to start to dispel, if you all men want to kind of do this for each other, is like getting therapy, getting help, talking to somebody is so helpful, and it shouldn't be a stigma.
Angie, you taking appointments? I think I've asked you that before.
Kids. I don't do adults. No, y'all are on your own. But I have plenty of,
so you can't help me.
Get help.
You cannot help them.
You can't help me then. Okay.
Patients for adults.
But I understand where you're coming from, and that's just what I was trying to translate to him. Is like, it's okay to understand like that you're going through something, but at the end of the day, you got to speak about it. Like I told him, I'm here for you. You can easily hit me up, and just a conversation talking about something like cleats or something like a bat. I want to order a bat. It takes your mind off of your, you know what I mean, day-to-day life. And this goes back to the game we love. It goes back to the game we love. Like, we can still play this game. And if you're 30, 40 years old, it's okay. You can still play baseball because it's going to take you from your normal day-to-day realm. Yeah. It has you something that you can look forward to.
Baseball is therapeutic.
Baseball is life.
Therapeutic. Baseball is life.
Yo, can I just say, anything you love is therapeutic. Whether it's petting puppies.
Ooh, that was some ASMR stuff or going right there.
But research has shown, and it is scientifically proven, that sports specifically, any sports, is
Zach says, or just marry a therapist. Yeah.
Nice.
That's Angie's husband.
Is it that?
He's trying to get points. That's my husband.
Did he get any? He better have.
Angie, listen. Angie, I'm just glad you haven't brought up his stolen base record. I'm just glad you haven't brought that up. No, I know, but I told you that. It's always a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
Louis Vuitton for that, so he knows he has to
it's in the 30. It's in the 38 plus league. I don't think you're old enough yet.
You still got time, brother.
No, but sports sports has been scientifically proven to help depression, and the people who have been able to kind of start to do therapeutic work and then get into sports have been able to show a better outcome. So I recommend it to all my teenagers to get into a sport, to find something they love, to run,
just exercise
to do. I don't
in
care what
general.
it is. Yeah, exercise in general, yoga, like all of those things that release endorphins and dopamine, and it helps our bodies to make more of it.
Yeah, it's
And
scientifically
competition, all that stuff that goes along with sports. It's science. I mean, it really is scientifically proven.
So you said yoga's what?
Yoga is another one that like helps with depression.
Meditation.
So
it's like a form of meditation,
yeah.
right?
I want to see
I
you do
want
the
I want to take yoga, bro.
downward dog.
Yoga.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yoga
Omar.
Honestly,
is
yoga is
pretty
incredible.
athletic.
Listen, my teammate Seth Perkins, he's throwing harder now as a 39-year-old, just because he started doing yoga.
You gonna?
Dude, he's the most flexible pitcher I've ever seen.
Is he
almost
okay
has,
with
like,
you
this
telling people that?
unorthodox, like pronation, like he's special, dude.
Yeah, no, of course, Seth's a doctor as well. So, of course, he wants us to let people know. He wants
I didn't know
our
that.
community to get better, you know, and we can all do yoga.
Well, tell him to get his
There's a lot
brother.
of sports teams that have had to that have added yoga into their
Yeah.
regimens and have made amazing improvements.
Tell Seth to take his brother to a class. Let's get Jake
You
back.
want to do like vinyasa? There's specific
Nah,
forms
Jay.
that are athletic.
Hey, I want to
Jason
talk
Jack
about
said
the umpire
his record
shortage
speaks
real
for
quick.
himself.
Wait. Jake's in another tax bracket. Go ahead, Johnny.
And he's got a kid now.
I want to talk about the umpire shortage. So I got questions for Dan and Ange. So you guys were first year umpires this year, that's right?
Correct.
Did you never
Correct.
umpire so back in the day, when I was like 13, I could umpire the 12 and under games, ride my bike down there, get $15 a game. We umpire 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Right? So you guys never did like kid umpiring or anything.
No, I mean I did intramurals in college, but I don't think I ever umped as a kid.
I would get behind the plate for like just like scrimmages and stuff when I was in college or high school, or like just to call balls.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Not umpire.
Okay.
No.
And as a catcher with scrimmages, naturally you would be the one to
Yeah.
call the balls and
Yeah.
strikes. But
Okay. I want each one of you to give me one thing that you didn't expect when going into umpiring. You didn't expect to happen in year one. Like, give me one
Like a
unexpected
specific
thing.
experience.
I would say either an experience or, I don't know, did anything like unexpected happen? Meaning, I don't know, it could be anything where it's like, wow, I didn't realize, even though you're not competitively playing, the competitive juices are still kind of flowing because you're umpiring, or I don't know, just what was there anything that you were surprised by in your first year?
That's a really good question. I feel like I needed to have this before. So
I'm
I
so
could have thought
sorry.
about
I
it.
should have hit you guys with this before.
Let me think about it.
I
for a
didn't know
second.
we were going to get interviewed.
All right, well,
But-
you think about
No,
that
no.
question. Let me give you an easier one. Or let me state something about the whole umpiring situation. Because my team is actually junior umpires, and they try to umpire the younger girls' games. And we're trying to get more youth into umpiring because, as you can see, they're all very old guys, and once they're gone, we are going to be absolutely cooked.
Well, so 3/4 of our class that we took, it was all kids. There was very
Yeah.
few adults.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So here's what I have to say. It's 2025. I walk around with a baby TV. I have to go to a class where I have to drive a far distance to go learn things that I could learn from my kitchen, from my anywhere, honestly, fucking Mars. And I have to spend a lot of time to qualify to become an umpire.
Mm-hmm.
And these are archaic things that we no longer need, right? And I think that's a problem, and I think not enough people
Yeah.
are bringing that up. And if we have an umpire shortage, it shouldn't be so difficult to become one. And it is very difficult. With the way that time is today, it's really difficult for me to dedicate a 3-hour or 4-hour block every week for 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't care if it's 2 weeks for something that I essentially know the general rules of the game already. And not to mention, when you take the test, they give you the answers. They give you the answers.
More or less.
You go through the test,
I
you
mean,
go down the test. I think umpiring needs to evolve to a limited 1 to 2 hour course. It needs to be the test. We are going to go down the test. We are going to remake the test. We make the test in a way that it covers important questions, because let's be honest, some of the questions on the test, I no longer have them, but my German Shepherds could pass. Okay? If the runner's foot crosses the base before the safe or out, I don't need to circle a bubble A, B, C, or D for that. We need to go over real questions that would really come up in the game, and then a few niche-y, goofy, weird rules. And we just go down the test and we give everyone the answers to the test, but we go over each question thoroughly. And whenever that's done, whether that's 30 minutes with 4 people, or it's an hour because there's 20 people, and anybody who wants to ask questions during that process can do that. We're done. When you leave there, you are ready to umpire.
Have you seen
give me a second. Give me a second. So I originally I was going to put together a school for umpires. And the goal was to do everything online. The goal was to, once they graduate, I'll call Walter, I'll call all the assigners and say, hey, I got these umpires, you know? But what happened was the backlash of people saying Omar's trying to take over the umpire association and steal umpires from Boston baseball. When it was the opposite, I created everything I'm creating because I seen a shortage in what I created. So we needed umpires. You know what's the problem, my man? Because they're not doing no promotions. They're expecting people.
Let me jump in here because I think I have an answer.
But give me a second, honey. Let me finish.
But it wasn't just the course,
I haven't.
though. Good.
No, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, it's not just the course. They're not promoting it. You don't know as an umpire that if you work 4 games on Saturday and Sunday, you can make $360, almost $400. They don't know that. And they talk about, Uber and this. Uber is, they give you a 1099. When you umpire for AAU and adult baseball, you don't get a 1099. Hey, it's all right. But that's the real deal, and people don't know that. So if this new generation doesn't know that. So the problem is they're not doing their due diligence and spending the money they're making. And any business you have to have a marketing budget. And these guys don't understand that. And when someone else does it, they be like, oh, no, this is mine. This is no. At the end of the day, follow suit. Adjust to the times that we were talking earlier. We could do this together. Because at the end of the day, if the CHBL, the BBA doesn't have umpires, we don't have a league. And it's looking like 5 to 10 years, we don't have umpires because they're getting older. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Johnny's question about like what was the biggest thing that I realized, it was that when I got onto the field for the first time as an umpire, I felt so underprepared, not because I didn't know the rules, but because being on the field, I was not prepared. We did like, what was it, 1 day, Dan?
Yeah, there was no like field drills.
Work.
Yeah.
There's no field drills, there's no field work. So like while the online class, 100% behind that, 100%. But I wish that the class was field work because we got out there for our first game, me and Dan. I had no idea like exactly where I was supposed to stand. I had to go home and study all the positions. And then
that is a phenomenal input.
When I had first started umpiring, I was umpiring like I was playing. So I wasn't in the right positions all the time. And I think I said this last show. I was playing like where I would go to make the play. I wasn't watching exactly what was happening, right? So if like somebody hit the ball, I'm watching it as though I'm going to catch it. Right? Like I'm watching like where I think that the outfielder should go, but if they don't go there, I just missed the play, right?
Angie, so they didn't when I went to school for the umpiring with Walter and I did it with Fred Sims at the Vogue. I think there was like 2 days. We used to they used to rent batting cages and we would like do like simulated stuff. They don't do that with you guys no more?
We did that
It
for
was
one
one
day,
day.
for like a couple
day.
hours, and
Okay.
we didn't really learn much. But John, I
And
don't
the thing
think.
is that they need to assign you guys scrimmages. You know, scrimmages, real life stuff.
Well, things were done very differently back in the day when they had a ton of umpires
that's
and they
what-
had
yeah.
mentors.
Yeah.
I don't think the class can be done in an hour, you know. But I think you have to get the federation on board, the National Federation High School. Like those rules are insane, and that's what we went
Insane.
through in the class. The whole book, the federation rules. There's so many different
That's what I'm saying.
crazy
that's the problem.
federation rules,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people are so frustrated by some of the rules, which are just crazy and over the top. Like I thought I knew baseball. I thought I knew most of the rules, and then you go through this long booklet at the federation level.
Dan, you don't have to go by what they do. You can create your own. Start the new wave, baby. Gotta
You
start
can.
the new wave.
Yes, yeah.
Start the new wave. Start the new wave. The
Well,
game is different.
but if you're going to up
game
at the
is
high school
different.
level, you have to follow those rules. If you're going to up at the high school level, you have no
Yeah,
choice.
but eventually, if you set something up and you build something, they're gonna call. They're gonna want these umpires.
well, they're pretty big. I mean, that's the national.
we can't change the rules.
That's the national.
No one's changing the rules. They're not teaching the game they're not showing you as an umpire how to be successful.
Well,
That is the problem.
I mean, every state's
Well, I
different.
will
You
say,
know,
oh, God, no, good.
no, every state's different.
I remember when I was getting trained, they didn't say, because I knew baseball. Thank God. That's why I was able to be successful. But when I was behind the plate, I'm like, oh my God, this shit is crazy. Like I was nervous. Like I kept getting hit by foul balls. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know the strike zone.
They don't teach you how to.
They don't teach you that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's why I
they
said.
don't
That's why I
teach
said
you
if
that.
I hadn't been a catcher for as many years as I had,
That shit hurts.
Yeah. I was so much more comfortable
That
behind the
hurts.
dish than I was in the field.
I told you guys last week when I got hit in the collar. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, the collarbone's brutal.
That hurt.
But you didn't have the proper equipment on because the equipment you should have should be protecting your collarbone.
No,
But anyway,
bro. What happened was I went like this and it.
You flinch.
Oh, right.
You're not
Oh, I
supposed
was
to.
scared, bro.
Yeah, that's what happened with
Yeah,
Ange
well-
in the 100 innings. But
All right. So wait. So Dan and Ange, when I say the umpire is in the slot position, you know what that means, right?
yes,
Of course.
Okay. This new evolution of the umps standing in the slot is eliminating a lot of the foul balls off of the umps
yes,
because it's
yeah.
just so hard to get hit
I mean,
when you're in the slot.
I've seen so many
unless the catcher
umpires
sucks.
and umps that have been umping for a long time, just
Yeah.
5 feet behind the catcher, or just like
That's
it's
a bad spot.
Yes, it's mind-boggling.
Can I ask a question about umpires though? And I want you guys. What other job can you have that you could be miserable and still keep your job?
Right, and that's why I became an umpire, because I was tired of these umpires coming just to collect their money, not giving a shit.
You can't have a conversation with these guys like, "Hey, I thought that was a little low. Shut up and hit." What?
Right.
Like,
Right.
sir, I'm sorry. It felt a little low. Shut up and hit. Or, or sir, that looked like a foul ball. Go back to your dugout. You're out of here.
You know,
Like,
and my fear is in 10 years, that's the guy I'm going to turn into, because you do it for so long, and you just don't want to take anyone's shit anymore. You're just so used to getting
Dan,
I
yelled
mean,
at.
no,
that's
Dan,
true though.
no.
That's true though.
Dan.
I am a happy person. There was one parent where I was just like, I will meet you. Meet me by
That,
my car.
that job can turn you. It can turn you.
No,
Yeah,
I know. Dan, I think it's also the persona that you are, because
Yeah.
you're gonna know how to deal with certain situations, and you know there's certain umpires. Once you know them for a couple years, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. So at the end of the day, these umpires, they know, and if they do the league for a couple years, they're gonna know the players too. They don't know that this guy's a hot head if he strikes out. They know that, so at the end of the day, it's a relationship thing. But I feel like a lot of these umpires don't care about that no more. They didn't get a paycheck. I'm going to get paid and get the hell out of there.
Agreed.
I feel like if you're going to do this, you have to have some love for the game.
Yeah, that's for real. I had a lot of fun with a lot of kids. I did. I really did.
Yeah,
I played with a lot of
yeah.
kids. I made comments to them. Like, I had a lot of fun with a couple of teams.
Did you umpire a lot of like high school kid games? Because those are really fun.
I did. Well, Belmont Hill, I literally umpired all of Belmont Hill's freshman game, and I fucking love those kids over there. They were the best.
That's what we need. We need that relationship, like you just talked about.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, we do.
that's the thing where,
was,
like in travel ball, I know all the umps. Like you have to build a good relationship with those umps, because when you get a little hot-headed every now and then, you need them to be like, hey, don't be that guy anymore, or like, hey, you've been doing better with that, or like da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, you want the kids to be able to have banter with you as well, because it makes them comfortable. And it's just like, you're an adult. Again, the whole mentor thing, right? Like, you can kind of tell the catcher, like, especially you caught. You could be like, hey, you can give them tips.
Oh, I do. I told him, I was like, put your glove down.
Johnny, think about this. Think about this, Johnny. You as a coach, right? If an umpire knows you, he allows you to be who you are, as long as you don't get disrespectful. Isn't that relationship going to be very well? Is it going to be a good relationship? And I feel like a lot of these don't allow you to be who you are.
No, and it allows us to be more human.
The other problem too is a lot of these umpires are doing 4 or 5 games a day. So by the time they get to their third game, they're just miserable, and you're useless after 2 games.
Why are they miserable making $100 an hour, bro? I don't get that.
Because I mean, you're 90-degree heat. You're doing 5 games a day.
Other than balls and strikes, safe and out, and they're making $100 an hour. That ain't fucking bad.
I mean, I love it personally, but you do 5 games a day. To me, that's too much. And by the third game, you're just a waste of space because you're tired.
I think
if they're in a row,
should have a basic first aid training. I had some kid break his ankle, like literally, like the ankle went like that.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Right? Yeah, I told you that. That was awful. And thankfully there was a doctor and a nurse at the game, which was really helpful. But like, I held this kid's hand, and they worked on him. And but if they weren't there, I would not have known what to do. And I think that's something that would be really important to do.
Well, the coaches are supposed to be trained on that stuff, to be honest.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Especially high school coaches. Like, we go through CPR training and all that stuff.
I mean, I have all that training because I work in a high school, but like, I mean, this kid's ankle like almost was poking out of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was bad. On Father's Day, poor dude in Everett. It was hot.
Oh,
well, luckily he had you that day.
Yeah, well, he was like, and I was like, you can swear. It's okay. You can swear. Go ahead. No, it's fine. This is fine.
Let it fly.
One of those moments.
But guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. Johnny, we'll give you the last thoughts. And by the way, Johnny's our first guest who actually brought his own questions and agenda. Normally we will text out the questions. No, I loved it. You took our work away. It's like he's coming here ready to go. So we appreciate it. And he's
also had the best presentation.
Great.
The setup is fire.
I don't have a glove problem.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't care what you say. I don't.
How you decide even which one to use?
All right. I'll close it out with final thoughts. It was really nice to meet you guys.
I thought it was supposed to be us.
We should have had a final segment. Johnny's final thoughts.
It was great for you guys to have me on. I'll pass it off to you at the end, but I guess the last thing I will say, if anyone's listened this far in, if you're an adult and you have crooked teeth and you really want to get braces, do it. I got braces a little bit over a year ago.
We do have 17 people watching.
I got braces a little over a year ago. It has completely changed the way that I breathe. It has completely changed my jawline. It has completely changed the entire look of my face. I couldn't be more confident, and I couldn't love it anymore. Nobody gives a fuck if you have braces. So stop worrying about that.
Zach wants his wife back.
If you give a crap that you have, if you have braces, nobody cares. Okay. So again, Omar, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. Keep spreading the positivity. Keep spreading the love. We can't bring everybody up with us, but we're going to the fucking top. Dan Felger, amazing job today with this.
Felger, let's go!
Hey, Dan F.
And Angie, tell your husband, don't worry, I'm not after you. So we just have braces together like goofballs that are older.
Yeah, I think he just wants me back on the couch.
Johnny, you're fantastic. Thank you, buddy, and keep up the positive attitude. You're inspiration to all of us.
Yeah,
go win another title. Go win another title.
We
I'm
love
winning
you,
every day,
Johnny!
baby, no matter what.
Just make sure you don't beat up on the Senators. That's all.
Senators are fucked if I'm on the mound.
I thought you were done pitching. I gotta learn how
I'm
to
in
do
shape
that.
now. I'm ready.
Allegedly.
I want to learn how to do
The kids do it like this now. Like they do it in some weird way now that I
Oh
can't
yeah,
do.
you're right. They do.
that.
But yeah, it's like
It's like some Grinch looking
no,
shit.
it's like with like yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I can't even.
Well, there you got the hearts. Hold on.
Yeah, they pop up.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think I need to get the update on my iPad.
Yeah. something.
True aura.
All right, guys. So yeah, next week we're gonna have on Orazio Azzarello. He's the commissioner of the BMBL 28s and also the manager of the BMBL 28s. And then Rob Zorian, who owns the Zorian Bat Company, and he's gonna have a discount code for anyone who wants Zorian bats. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that next week.
Yeah, I think
8
Zach
o'clock.
has one of his bats.
I've used Zorian bats before.
And then Dovetail too. Matt Borges has Dovetail.
Ducktail.
He's a rep for Dovetail.
Bat Morges?
We're promoting Zorian. We're promoting Zorian.
Yes, but I'm saying there's another one too.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Johnny, thank you, buddy. And thanks for coming in hot with the shades.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, you changed the. Wait, we're gonna wear shades from now on. I like it.
I mean, I couldn't
Omar.
see shit, but it's okay.
I think.
set
I
me
think,
up, bro.
No. I think it's different. It feels different. When Dan has wanted us to get like cartoon characters. I think
Yeah.
our cartoon characters look better with the shades.
Caricatures.
You what we gonna see? We're gonna change the game. Make this exciting.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm gonna wear my chain too.
There you go.
Yo, much love. Thank you, my brother Johnny.
Thank you,
You
buddy.
already know. Oh, you got the.
snap.
Oh, how'd you do that? How'd
You
you do
asking
that?
too many. You asking too many questions, bro.
Look at that. Look at that.
Hadouken!
Hadouken! And then do
All
it
right,
again.
All right, guys.
So Dan, before we leave,
Yes, sir.
what do we? Oh, Johnny, you out or no?
He's still here.
Mhm.
Oh, bro. See,
Oh.
we need to leave. What do you guys?
We're
Just
gonna
kick me
close
out,
the
Dan.
show.
You're the guy.
Slide
I don't know if I can do that. I don't even know if I can do that.
Let me get a glove. Dame un guante.
Which one you want, baby? These things are
I need.
How you like that?
He's gone.
Oh, Jizzle.
Oh,
No, I love you, Johnny.
Hey, it was a great show, man. Great show.
Yes. We're still live.
Hey,
Don't
I
talk
like the.
shit.
No, I'm not talking shit. I like
I'm
these
just kidding. I'm
glasses,
just
bro.
kidding.
I like the glasses, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't see anything I'm doing, but
It's all right. You look like Felger, bro.
yeah, I guess you say that's a good
it's
thing.
actually
That's-
uncanny.
There you go. You look like who?
No, if you're saying that's a good thing,
Oh.
then that's that.
Yeah.
No,
sure,
Angie said
I'll
she was like
take-
who?
No, I said it's uncanny. Like it looks
Hey.
so much like him. It's uncanny.
Hey.
What
you
is
bring
it? The
attention.
sunglasses? Because I've been
I
using
think
the
it's the whole
same.
thing. It's the hat, the sunnies, and the
Oh.
the mic and the
Okay.
Yeah, you got the mic, and but then you got the
Headphones.
like the position, like the way you sitting,
Yeah.
like you're
I
like,
agree.
like it's,
Yeah,
it's like you,
the
it's like you,
outfit.
it's like you have to, you've been practicing, like.
No, I mean I've been
You
wanting to
know,
do
it's
this
like-
for several years, but I
let
haven't been
me
practicing.
let me know, you know, because I gotta, you know.
I mean, I'll take
Hey,
it.
look good, look good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my mic next week.
What did one saggy boob say to the other?
How's it hanging?
We better get some support soon, or people are gonna start thinking we're nuts.
Oh man, no more jokes.
We could have a dad joke segment.
Hey, but thank you everybody for tapping in.
Yep,
We did
next
have
week.
17 people consistently the whole show.
Yeah, Johnny Mac brought it. He brought his people,
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
and just wait.
Who
till
we
you
have
get-
next week?
Yep, yeah, we got Orazio Azzarello and
Razio.
Rob Zorian, and
That should be fun.
he's gonna give people a discount on bats. So, yeah.
Hey, look who just tapped in, Mike Terrio.
Oh,
Oh, hey, Terrio.
Hi, Mikey.
hope you're
Maybe
doing
we-
good, buddy.
Maybe we'll get him in next week.
Maybe. All right, guys. So next
All right,
week,
guys.
8 o'clock, same time, same place.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Hey, Dan, make sure to send me that video. God bless.
I will do that. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and you all have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Where is my